Welcome to the African Leadership Series, where we bring you great inspirational speeches from African leaders.
I am not saying our African presidents don't have any blames. Nobody's without blame. No country is perfect. No leader is perfect. I get that. But what I'm saying is, in order for us to make sure when we demonstrate, when we complain, we are complaining about issues that are truly matter to us, not issues that we are being thrown into because somebody else has a different agenda. They're basically throwing a shiny object in one direction, and we run after the shiny object when the real issue is over here. So what I'm talking about is like Africa is like a tree. The problems of Africa, such as youth unemployment, poverty, disease, starvation, those are the leaves on a tree. They're drying up. Today, this country has the problem. Tomorrow is that country. Tomorrow is... Those are the issues. They're leaves. They're going to come and go. The branches, they're going to die, but they'll come back season after another. But until you address the issues of the root, this tree will always be a problem. For Africa, the root has to do with the Berlin Conference. We must be clear that the Berlin Conference is alive and well. A decision that was made 124 years ago remains alive and well today. In addition, after the Berlin Conference, they did something just as deplorable. They set out to let the Africans believe everything African was bad and everything European was better and more desirable. That's the rule of divide and conquer. That's the legacy of colonization. Have you ever wondered why, when you try to go home at the airport, if you travel with our brothers and sisters who happen to be Caucasian, they get better treatment by our own people? I was trying to go through the airport, I won't mention which country in Africa. I called the porter 3 times. The man would come and hang around. The minute I look another way, he's gone. I later found out from one of the porters that, we are looking for the white people because they pay more. My own people are discriminating against me. Thanks to the Berlin Conference. Thanks to the legacy of colonization. Thanks to the rule of divide and conquer. Those are some of our realities. How do you address that? We must understand it. We must realize on an individual basis that we are suffering from this affliction that is called the legacy of colonization and the legacy of slavery. Because for true healing to take place, for sustainability to take place, it has to start with the conversation with the image in the mirror. So when it's all said and done, our understanding of what is really going on in Africa, what is really making Africa end up where Africa is where we need to begin. So for today, I ask you to understand the Berlin Conference and its relevance to you today. Its relevance in your family today. Its relevance to your country and to your continent and to the world wherever Black people are. So we got 2 issues, the legacy of slavery, the legacy of colonizations, 2 demons that we must fight, 2 afflictions that we must accept that we suffer from, and let's make every effort to defeat those demons within us in order for us to truly represent our Africa with full understanding of the issues. So as we look for a solution, our minds are clear and our minds are in the right place. Allow me to take a moment to then take you to 1963. Our Pan-African leaders realizing that in order for Africa to move forward, Africa must speak with one voice, one continent, one country, one heart, one mind, one soul. So they met in Addis Ababa in 1963, and they created the OAU, Organization of African Unity. It was an attempt to regroup and undo the boundaries that were imposed upon us. Unfortunately, when they went to Addis Ababa, they were still divided. We had the Casablanca group who were Pan-Africanists who says African Union now, Africa for the Africans. But unfortunately, there were only 7 of them. Ghana, Guinea, Mali, Egypt, Morocco, Algeria, and Tunisia. and the rest of the African countries were the nationalists. They were the Monrovia group. They said, no, let's go slow. They won. We often say, when the Pan-Africanists lost in 1963, Africa lost. 55 years later, we're still going slow. All is not lost, however. Last year, 2018, our leaders came together in Kigali. They agreed on a decision which is now called the African Continental Free Trade Area. This agreement, they are saying we must speak with one voice. We must negotiate with one voice as a bloc, as one Africa, because as Africa, we are a heavyweight and we belong with heavyweight boxers. We belong with the big boys. There's parity there. This is how we begin to destroy the Berlin Conference. In addition, they also signed in March of last year the protocols for the free movement of people, where they are saying unanimously, the African heads of states, the children of Africa must live and work wherever they choose. Already, regionally, the leaders are loosening the requirements to get into their countries. A lot of countries now are visa on arrival. There's a lot of good news coming out of your Africa. And I'm here to share with you that we must be part of that change. We must be part of that vibrancy that is Africa. You see, everybody else around the world is strategizing on how to take advantage of this new Africa whose doors are swinging wide open. The only people who are not strategizing to move into your Africa and claim what is rightfully yours are us, black people. Why can't we be like the rest of the other diaspora in this world? Ask for the voices of Indian diaspora, loud and clear. Chinese diaspora, loud and clear. Irish diaspora, loud and clear. Mexicans, Jews. But when you ask for the voices of the black people, you might as well go to the graveyard. We are missing in action. This is where we are not only failing ourselves, our children, our grandchildren, and generations to come. We have got to change this. We have got to come together just like other ethnic groups and speak with one voice. We must realize that our sheer survival depends on us coming together and speaking with one voice as, like I would like to say, the beautiful, intelligent, sophisticated, highly adaptable, and totally indestructible Mother Africa's children.
If you like informative and educative videos about Africa, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to get our latest videos.